What's going on, everybody? Spunky Nice 91 coming you guys with another video. So Kevin Kurtzman, who is a local radio host in the Kansas City, Missouri area, recently made some comments on his radio show that were, let's just say, very controversial, and it was a big firestorm regarding former Eagles head coach and current Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. Kevin Kurtzman, in critiquing Andy Reid overall, really made it very personal and started talking about Andy Reid's family. A lot of people took it as him talking about Andy Reid's oldest son, Garrett, who, as we all know, died of a heroin overdose in 2012 when Andy Reid was still coaching the Eagles. He was 29 years old, the oldest son of Andy Reid and his wife Tammy. He was found in August of 2012 in a dorm room at Lee University. He died of a heroin overdose at the age of 29. But a lot of people took it as Kevin Kurtzman getting personal, talking about how Andy Reid was not able to manage his family life and all that stuff, man. I'm gonna read to you guys exactly what Kevin Kurtzman's comments were, and I'm gonna read what his employer, WHB, a local radio station in the Kansas City, Missouri area, what they had to say after the comments. So let me just go and get started here. Here's Kevin Kurtzman's statement right here. He said that Andy Reid does not have a great record of fixing players. He doesn't. Discipline is not his thing. It did not work out particularly well in his family life, and that needs to be added to this. As we're talking about the Chiefs, he wasn't real great at that either. He had a lot of things go bad on him, family and players. He is not good at fixing people. He is not good at discipline. That is not his strength. His strength is designing football plays. That right there was Kevin Kurtzman's. That was his comments. Take it as you will. I'm gonna read to you guys what WHB said, following their decision to remove it from the air. Here's what WHB had to say. We are aware of the controversial comments made by Kevin Kurtzman during yesterday's broadcast of Between the Lines. We have decided to take the immediate step to take Kevin off the air until further notice as we review the matter. We take Kevin's comments and those of all on-air staff seriously. Kevin's comments were clearly not to his or our standards. Please know we will take the necessary appropriate actions. We sincerely apologize to Andy Reid and his family, the Kansas City Chiefs organization, and our loyal listeners, and share their concerns. Kurtzman later on has, he denied that he was referring to Garrett Reid directly. He said that he was referring to the legal troubles that Garrett Reid and his brother had before Garrett Reid's passing. My thoughts on this are very simple, man. You can sit here and try to spin it all you want to, man. You can sit here and say that you wasn't really directly referring to, you wasn't referring to his death, but at the end of the day, you still made it personal. Now listen, we all Eagle fans, we all remember when Garrett passed away. This was Andy Reid's last year with the Eagles, 2012. We all remember that, and the Eagles Organization, the fan base came behind Coach Reid during that time. That was a very difficult time, for Coach Reid. So Kurtzman can sit here and he could say that, hey man, I wasn't particularly talking about his death, his tragic death at the young age of 29. But at the end of the day, you were still talking about the man's family. Now listen, I have my criticism of Andy Reid and his time in Philadelphia. I have my criticism, but one thing I would never do is get personal and talk about the man's personal life, his family. That right there is where you cross the line. You made it personal, and I don't listen to his radio station. I'm not in the Kansas City market or whatever, but he has a history of making very disturbing and controversial comments about people, for what I hear. So this is not a first offense for him, according to what I'm hearing. Look, like I said, when it comes to Andy Reid's tenure in Philadelphia, he was a good coach that did get us to the playoffs many times, got us to the NFC Championship game, but him and McNabb just could not get the big one. They couldn't win the Super Bowl. So I have my criticism of Andy Reid and his coaching, but like I said, man, you sink to a real low. You are a real scumbag when you go there and you talk about the man's family, his kids, his sons, his wife, whatever, man. That's where you cross the line. And and I hope he gets fired. Personally, I hope WHB they fire him. Cause that right there is where you cross the line at. You don't talk about a man's family. You can critique him as a coach. Go ahead, do all that. I do that. There's nothing wrong with critiquing him as a coach, because he's a decent coach, but when it comes down to win the big game, he just has not been able to do it. But I would never talk about the man's son who died of a heroin overdose. The man's son who obviously had his issues in his life, and his life ended tragically short. I would never sink to that level to criticize anybody, not just Andy Reid. I would never sink to that low when offering my criticism of anybody. Criticize a man for his professional life, his coaching career, whatever. Criticize him for that, but leave the man's personal life out of this. Leave the man's family out of this. That right there is where you sink to a new low. And I hope WHB fall through and they fire him, because the guy's a real scumbag. He's a real scumbag, and he should not be on the air, spewing that filth again. You should know better than that, man. And you should know to be careful what you say nowadays, because you gotta be extremely careful when you're an on-air personality. You gotta be really careful what you say nowadays, because obviously people are listening, and and that create a firestorm as it should. And right now, his career is on the line. And if I was WHB, I wouldn't hesitate right now. I would fire his ass. I definitely would fire his ass if I was the director or whoever run things over there at WHB. You don't bring a man's family, you don't bring his personal life into your critique of him. You critique him for his, like I said, you critique him for his failures as a coach, and he's had his failures as a coach, not being able to win the big game, the Super Bowl. You critique him for that, and some of the things he said about him as a player, as a coach, I do agree with some of the things he say. Like Andy Reid just, as a coach, man, he just can't get it done. I agree with some of the things, but when you sit there and you make it really, really personal, and you make it very vicious, and you go into talking about, oh, he was basically what you're saying, he was a terrible father. He was a horrible father, and he's the reason why his son died. That's basically what this guy is basically saying. He's the reason why his son died. And that right there is really effed up, you ask me. That's truly messed up, man. To sit there and place the blame on Andy Reid, for the reason for his son dying at a young age like that. No, that right there is heartless. It's absolutely despicable. And this guy he's not just in Kansas City, but he should not have a job on the radio anywhere in the entire country. He should not have a job working as a radio host, whatever the hell he does, a radio host. He should not have a job working as a radio host anywhere. That right there is uncalled for, and he needs to be fired. My condolences go out to Coach Reid. I have my issues with Coach Reid, his tenure in Philadelphia. But one thing, I stand behind Coach Reid when it comes to stuff like that. Because there are things that are bigger than football, and that's your family. That's bigger than football. I stand behind Coach Reid. And offer my condolences for him. 7 years later, I can imagine it's still tough for him. About his son's death. I can imagine that's really tough for him. So I stand behind Coach Reid 100%. And for those calling for this scumbag Kevin Kurtzman to be fired, I stand with you guys as well. He does not deserve to have a job on the radio. Plain and simple. No and ifs or buts about it. Just absolutely despicable as far as I'm concerned. Fire him, set an example to other radio personalities out there, TV personalities out there, whatever. Set a message to all of them that type of language, that type of behavior is not going to be tolerated. You don't sit there and talk about a man's family like that. Critique him on football, fine, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. Critique him, his job as a head coach in the NFL. Critique him on that, but leave the man's family the hell out of it. That's really all I gotta say, man. Leave the man's family out of it. My condolences once again go with Coach Reid. I stand with Coach Reid on that, man. You don't sit there and you don't talk about a man's family like that. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree that Kevin Kurtzman should be Kurtzman? I think it is Kurtzman. I think it is. But do you agree that he should be fired for the comments that he made by Andy Reid? Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As always, go Birds. Spunky Nice 91 is out of here. Flag or fly. Peace.